Imagine a leader who seizes power without regard for the rules, driven purely by ambition. This is what we often associate with the term power grabber. But what truly defines such a figure? Is it the method they use to take power, or the lack of legitimate backing? In Roman history, Vitellius stands out as a textbook example of a ruthless power grabber during a period of chaos. However, he wasn't alone. To truly understand the nature of power grabs, we need to compare Vitellius's blatant and self-serving seizure of power with the rise of figures like Julius Caesar, whose ascent was far more complex. By examining their paths to power, we can uncover what truly makes someone a usurper in Roman history. In 69 CE, known as the Year of the Four Emperors, Vitellius cemented his place in history as a power grabber. As a governor in Germany, he took advantage of the chaos following Emperor Nero's death. With no real pretense of popular support or a vision for reform, Vitellius mobilized his legions and marched on Rome. After defeating Emperor Otho, he declared himself emperor. Vitellius's ambition was unmatched, but his focus wasn't on governance or stabilizing the collapsing Roman state. It was on taking power for personal gain. Once in control, his reign became infamous for indulgence and mismanagement, alienating the very people he sought to rule. His hold on power was short-lived. Another military leader, Vespasian, soon overthrew him. Vitellius's legacy remains that of a quintessential usurper, a leader who seized control without legitimacy or concern for the people's welfare. Vitellius embodied raw ambition, using his army to take what he wanted without offering anything in return. This, in its purest form, defines a power grab, seizing control for personal gain without any mandate from the people or political elite. But does this same definition apply to Julius Caesar? At first glance, Caesar's decision to march on Rome in 49 BCE, crossing the Rubicon, and initiating a civil war might seem like the act of a usurper. However, a closer look reveals that his rise to power was far more nuanced. Unlike Vitellius, who relied solely on brute military force, Caesar built a foundation of popular support over many years. His reforms, including land redistribution and debt relief, directly addressed the issues faced by ordinary Romans. The Senate, dominated by a small group of elites, had long ignored the needs of the masses. Caesar positioned himself as their champion, offering hope for a better future. When Caesar crossed the Rubicon, it wasn't just an act of ambition. It was a response to the Senate's attempts to strip him of power and prosecute him. His actions were controversial, but they were rooted in popular support and a genuine desire to reform Rome's broken system. Unlike Vitellius, Caesar didn't rely solely on his legions to gain power. He had the backing of a disillusioned population that saw him as a leader who could bring real change. This popular legitimacy separates Caesar from Vitellius. While Vitellius cared only for personal gain, Caesar sought to address the deep inequalities plaguing the Republic. His actions weren't just about seizing control, they were about offering solutions to a society in crisis. The distinction between Vitellius and Caesar lies in the source of their legitimacy. A true usurper, like Vitellius, takes power solely for personal gain, relying on force or manipulation without any backing from the people. Their rule is characterized by instability, a lack of reforms, and a disregard for the welfare of the state. In contrast, Caesar's legitimacy came not only from his military achievements, but also from his connection to the Roman people. His reforms aimed to fix a system that had failed its citizens, and his popularity stemmed from his ability to offer hope during a turbulent time. Vitellius wasn't the only figure in Roman history to fit the mold of a usurper. Other leaders, such as Commodus and Caracalla, similarly pursued power recklessly, ruling with little regard for the people they governed. Like Vitellius, They prioritized personal ambition over stability or meaningful reforms, leading to further chaos. On the other hand, leaders like Augustus, Octavian, and even Mark Antony distinguished themselves by gaining power through popular support or military loyalty. These figures positioned themselves as defenders of the Roman state rather than opportunists. Their success wasn't built solely on their ability to win battles. It was rooted in their ability to offer stability and reform. This legitimacy set them apart from power grabbers like Vitellius, highlighting the importance of serving the people rather than exploiting them. Ultimately, a true power grabber in Roman history is defined by a lack of legitimacy, whether popular or political. Vitellius serves as the ultimate example of a usurper, a man who seized control for personal gain with no concern for the welfare of the people or the stability of the state. His reign was short, chaotic, and unsustainable, leaving behind nothing of value. In contrast, figures like Caesar, while bold and controversial, gained power through a combination of military strength and popular support. They weren't simply taking control, they were responding to the failings of a broken republic, offering reforms and solutions that Rome desperately needed. This legitimacy separates them from raw power grabbers like Vitellius. In the end, a true usurper is not just defined by their ambition, but by their lack of purpose beyond personal gain. Vitellius exemplifies this, standing out as a leader who left no positive legacy, only turmoil and mismanagement. Figures like Julius Caesar, despite their controversies, represent a different kind of power, one that arises from addressing the needs of the people and earning their support. In Roman history, the line between ambition and legitimacy often determined who left a lasting mark and who faded into infamy. If this exploration of Rome's most notorious power grabbers intrigued you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the fascinating stories of history's leaders. Join us next time as we continue to uncover the truths behind the rise and fall of the Roman Empire.